going to blame me, but it's not me. Yeah, it's the only thing I should change my availability. Anyway, good luck, everyone.
It's round 3 for FIA Formula 2 in 2025. We're at the Jeddah Corniche circuit in Saudi Arabia for the first of the practice hours. Well, we're having a few technical difficulties right now, which might make it seem like we're in Bahrain, but we're not. We're in Saudi Arabia, and the green light is on, and we're very much underway for this session. Alongside me is Omi and Jess. And Omi, after the thriller of Bahrain, we're here in Saudi, and hopefully it's going to be a great session.
We've seen brilliant moments in Formula 2 around Jeddah, so looking forward to seeing how this weekend will go. It's going to be action-packed, and looking forward to seeing who our two victors are going to be in the sprint and the feature this weekend.
Okay, let's send it down to the world feed, and we'll be back with Jess and Omi shortly.
James Robinson about Fornaroli's season so far yesterday.
I think Leo's had a great start to the season. He's hit the ground running straight away, really quick out of the box. Pole position, like you said, in Bahrain. The races, pace has been not quite there compared to the qualifying pace, but given how early we are in the season and where he is, I think we can be really, really impressed. Yeah, I think he's proven to be a great talent, and we're really pleased to have him in the team. He's got a lot of speed. We just want to try and convert that into race pace, but yeah, I think, like you said, to be 2 podiums from 3 races, top of the Drivers' Championship coming here, you can't ask for more than that.
I think very well said from James Robinson there. They'll be very pleased. They did great things with a Formula 3 champion last season. Can they do the same this season? Leo Fornaroli, Alex, he did mention in that post-race interview, just seemed a little bit frustrated that the win had escaped him from pole position. Of course, he managed to win the Formula 3 title without a win last season. Do you feel, as a driver, he'll want to get on that top step early into this campaign in Formula 2, because it is a longer campaign in Formula 2?
Yeah, he said, I've been trying for several years, didn't he, to win one, and I've been winning championships, just not races.
Yeah.
And he did sound a little bit frustrated. I mean, with regards to that race, I mean, it didn't do him too badly on his way to the Formula 3 title, and you can make your way through these series on the basis of consistency, and consistency in many ways is more important when we look at the transition of drivers who've recently made it through these series into Formula 1. Interesting to hear from James Robinson there about race pace. And it's something that comes last for these drivers when they make their way through from F3. And that's because they have so much more power here that it does different things to the way that the tyre degrades and moves. Obviously, so much of qualifying ability is pure natural speed and talent, which anybody who's finishing towards the top end of a Formula 3 grid has in abundance. The thing that they really need to learn is how to manage a softer set of compounds of tyre with more, or relatively softer, in comparison to the fact they have more power and downforce. And that's where the studying comes in. And drivers, even drivers with great pedigree behind them like Fornaroli, have to do a little bit of work, as Dunn does a little bit of work through the exit of turn 10.
That was, yeah, that will make them sit up on the Road in Motorsport pit wall, and that's a lock-up as well coming into turn 13 for good measure.
Yeah, it's a relatively low abrasion surface here, and the circuit not used very frequently, so it tends to be a high circuit evolution. At the moment, track temperature up at 57 degrees. We're just ticking over to 1 o'clock local time. So right in the middle of the day, and these are the toughest track conditions I think that these drivers will face. Low grip asphalt with also massive track temperature. The medium compound tyre is the harder of the two for this weekend. Then there's a compound jump to the soft for qualifying, to the super soft for qualifying.
Yes, and it's going to be a very different feature race, I feel, to Bahrain. Last year we saw that super soft tyre taken only as far as lap 8 in the feature race before they had all swapped. Those on the alternative strategy were given a safety car when we saw Franco Colapinto spin at turn 1 and Amaury Cordial managed to finish P5, although he was overtaken here on a run to the line. Dennis Hauger managed to steal 3rd place, as that is 3rd place, speaking of, for Alex Dunn. And there we highlight, Alex, that track temperature that you mentioned.
I better be right, hadn't I, about the track temperature?
Yes.
If our roaming cameramen are going to go and fact check me down in the pit lane. But yeah, it is really hot, really hot out there. And that's the curb where we've seen so much action. Its profile has been adjusted, that curb, over the years. Not adjusted for this year, but they've worked with it, because always the concern for the driver is you're going to ground out on that outside curb and it's going to pick the rear tyre up and pitch you inwards into the wall. The other danger area, or the other really tricky area, is just where we saw Dunn bounce across the curb there, the exit of turn 22. It's a really long run then down towards turn 27, flat all the way there. So it's 16 and it's 22, the 2 turns they have to get absolutely right. There's a long way to go after them.
Here we see Gabriele Mini coming down towards the first corner, going for a flying lap. By Prema standards, they went slightly missing last weekend. This could be a big chance for them this weekend. Gabriele Mini is one of few drivers having to get up to speed this weekend, along with his teammate Montoya. They'll both be trying to learn this circuit. It'll be interesting to see how they develop to it. There is his teammate Montoya, and here we watch Gabriele Mini now making his way to turn 13.
Solid results throughout the year so far. 7th in the first sprint race, 7th again in Bahrain, 9th in the feature. There's been a lot of point scoring going on for Gabriele Mini. That first podium of the year eluding him at the moment. Prema driver with the association with Alpine. Saw a great championship battle last year in the Formula 3 Championship. And Gabriele Mini, an accomplished beginning to his Formula 2 career, but not quite the dizzy heights of what Fornaroli's been able to achieve at the moment.
Yeah, it's many people had very high hopes that he'd come in and hit those podiums straight away. But as you mentioned, in the points, and he's ticking those over as he makes his way now round towards the final corner. One of 3 DRS zones. As you can see, the rear flap is open. We saw just an example of how we might see drivers just trying to get a gap there. That wall on the exit as well, Alex, that is the risk versus reward exit out of the final corner, where we saw Franco Colapinto last year take just a little bit too much out of there, hit the wall and spun round coming down.
Well, we apologise for that slight late on airness here from ours part. We had incorrect times available, but back with you now. Hello everybody, welcome to the practice session then for Formula 2 here in Saudi Arabia. And once I get hold of the team in the correct box size, we will get going as well. Jess and Omi alongside us once again, and it's Kushmani is top at the moment. We've already heard from Omi. Now we'll say good afternoon to Jess. Hello Jess.
Hello, good news, I have corrected the timings now, so everything should be correct for the rest of the weekend. If not, let me know, Josh, before things go wrong again. But yeah, F2 was brilliant last week, I remember, from Bahrain in particular. Alex Dunn getting his first win, and then all the action happening in the safety car as well. I was watching the sprint race with my mum, and we couldn't believe what had happened as we saw one of the cars just going wide in turn 1. That was Lee Browning.
Yeah, Omi, you had the lead last weekend. I wish you'd stayed with it, actually, because maybe we would have gone on air on time as well. We've got 25 minutes to fill here. Apologies, we missed 10 minutes. We didn't miss much. Now we've got one. That's Kushmani spinning and causing a brief yellow down at the last corner here. But, yeah, we're back up to green. Hello, Omi. One day things will go right, I suppose, as Alexander is locked up into the first corner.
Yeah, one day everything will go right. But you did say you were going to catch up with all of the F2 and F3 action yesterday. Were you able to do so?
Ha! No.
Okay, I expected that. But yes,
You can watch Grid Encore. You can watch Grid Encore where Omi recapped it very well.
That's what's going to have to, aren't I, Omi?
yeah, and I would suggest we did have some poetry in motion going on in the F2 sprint, so I do suggest you watch definitely the highlights at least before we get into the action tomorrow. As we take a look at Roman Stanek right now.
Stanek coming down. He's third fastest at the moment with a 1:46.744 over it as well. Miney's entered the pit lane. Dirtskin and Clan Shields are in there at the moment as well. There's track temperature 57.5 degrees, air temperature 27.5, wind at 2.7 meters per second. It's a hot old circuit, but of course, I mean, it's different here because we do have a night race and a day race for this circuit.
Yeah, absolutely. For the feature race, it will be more in the day conditions, while in the sprint, we'll be going through the sunset procedure as well. It will be right before F1 qualifying tomorrow, will the F2 sprint race, and hopefully it will be an interesting sprint race. We'll, of course, hold qualifying later on as well, straight after FP1. So quite a lot going on for these drivers this weekend, and they'll hopefully be able to provide some brilliant action. We have 3 back-to-back DRS zones, of course, around the circuit, meaning loads of action for these drivers and loads of overtaking opportunities.
Yeah, the one time we wish that Formula 2 were delayed in Saudi Arabia, they've actually got off on time. That's unusual. Every single session we've ever had here has been delayed by somewhat, and we're expecting the racing to be as well, because the paddock for Formula 2 and Formula 3 is on the opposite side of the circuit, and it takes ages for them to come round and actually line up on the infield. One more with Crawford though, Jess, as he comes down to the last corner, and he's on a very quick time. Got a yellow flag though, that's gone green again.
You almost spoke too soon, Josh. Like, there was no interruption. Boom, there might have been one. But I think Crawford, interestingly enough, doesn't take the shortest run to the line. And he goes P2, 13,000 separating him and Kushmani up top. The track is ramping up, JB.
Yeah, and Mini's on a lap time too in the Prema. We're joining him now as he comes down towards the last sector. 10th of a second just separates the top 3 at the moment from Maney, from Crawford and Martin. To come under the braking zone then, throw it into the last corner. It's a double apex as well. Just avoid that bar at the exit. See the opposite side of the paddock, and as you're in and out of the circuit, there's a tunnel that features in. Over the line then is Martin's coming into the pit lane. He is and gets caught up as well behind the 9 of Sebastian Montoya as well. Martin's to the top though, 1:46.432, 5 thousandths quicker than Kushmini. So we have the top 3 by 18 thousandths, Omi. This is more like it.
Well, most turns on the calendar, but still the close margins that Formula 2 is used to. Turn number 22 with Luke Browning, and is it going to be slightly wide? Of course, we had yellow flags. It will be slightly wide over the road, and he will continue on. This is Sebastian Montoya as well, as he navigated his way through in what was a weekend to forget for Prema, and he was slightly off the road as well.
This one's been a nightmare.
Yeah, just a little bit down on the inside. I think it's going to be an okay run around though, which is better than nothing. Okay, interesting. Just double checking some things that have come up on the information charts. So we are going to have to run through and change Discord times to let to change YouTube times to let everybody know. Watch along, brush on the wall there.
Just qualifying an F2 practice is wrong.
Excellent. The two
F1 qualifying. Sorry.
No, I got what you mean. Don't worry. Yeah, I know what you were on about. The viewers didn't, but I knew.
Yeah, I spent 5 minutes while she was sorting out your OBS just to see are the timings correct, and if they weren't, change it.
Yeah,
so you're welcome.
Thank you, Jess, because it's been a right pain in the behind when we found that out. Because we were
and
sat
here.
here.
Friday, everyone.
Oh yeah, it's Good Friday, isn't it? Have you got?
Yeah.
Oh, fish and
That's
chips
why I'm
later.
at work.
We were literally sat in here at 10:45. I was just trying to set up because the streaming PC has been having a paddy since Donington. So
and then me and Omi were like, wait, hang on. Oh, we thought they were going to do a preview, weren't we, Omi? And then they came on air, and I was like, what's happening? And then I checked Twitter, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
I
the
didn't.
same thing.
Yeah, I didn't think Sky was going to do that, but last week they did a bit of a preview for qualifying. So you never know with Sky; they just do random stuff whenever they like. So I thought it was originally that.
And missed podiums.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really care, do they? But no, it bugged me a lot. Let's hear though for some drivers.
Yeah, honestly, a pretty good weekend all around, to be honest. The team did an amazing job together and qualifying in the races. It was a shame that we couldn't keep those positions towards the end because we struggled a little bit with deck, but at least the steps are being made forward, which is the most important.
Good weekend for Villagomez. Alex showed a lot of confidence in the...
Yeah, I think Villagomez last time, I'll go to you, Omi, seemed to have a very interesting race. I did see some bits.
Yeah, the sprint race, he really impressed me at the start in both the sprint and feature. He was able to attack drivers and just stay on the back, which, yes, he did use a bit more of his tyres, but it was great to actually see him attacking for a change rather than being stuck near the back like we usually do see him. So it's always nice to have some differences there, and we were able to see him challenging for those podium spots. But yes, once again, a bit of inexperience, I think, showing a little bit for him last weekend in terms of using too much out of the tyres, as it was really a lot about the tyres when it came to our sprint contest. But to be fair, at the end of our sprint contest, we just found ourselves with a safety car in a 5-lap sprint, so it did mean that everything was thrown out of the window, and it could have been anyone's podium, and it was a really, really fun one to watch. And Joshua Dirksen, well, he was the driver who definitely wasn't a fan when it came to that safety car. It really catched him out, and he wanted to go chase down Beganovic for the win at the end of the sprint. Instead, somehow we had Pepe Marti do it from 11th on the grid.
Yeah, Pepe Marti getting through and the chaos on the restart. As Arvin Lindblad is 15th, just gone back out onto the circuit and started a lap time. Richard Verschoor also be doing that shortly. We're watching now Leonardo Forlaroli in the first sector. He's done a 39.1. Second sector's coming up, and it's a 33.5. It's 2 thousandths up to Martins, just scraping over the exit curb. And Jess, Jeddah is one of the trickiest circuits in both real life and in the video game as well. How do you, in esports, sort of keep your focus around here, because the barriers are relentless and the curbs as well just sort of throw you into the walls?
To be honest, Josh, I find Jeddah quite exciting on the recent F1 24 game compared to other games, because it's just like you never know where the corners are going to be. It's just so fast, and I like sweeping fast corners where you turn left and right. That works out well. But between turns 4 and 10, you've got to nail it correctly. If you get the turning point wrong, then it messes up your lap completely, and you just end up in the barriers. So sector 1 is the most trickier for the drivers to manage. But apart from that, everyone else finds sector 2 and sector 3 okay. But it's just sector 1 that's the most challenging. But it's very thrilling. I absolutely love it here on the F1 24 game.
Durskin crosses the line to start a lap, and Omi, I'm just looking. Martins 146.432, 5,000s to Maney, 18,000s Crawford, 19,000s Forlaroli, 61,000s for Goethe. This is insanity for the top 5 right now.
Yeah, there was lots of people who were coming into this season talking about how this wouldn't be exciting due to we've definitely had a step down in terms of the drivers that we've got this season. But if they're all struggling together at the same time, you have to look at it. We're going to be in for a really great season. And there is some great talent in this field. But it means that we've got loads of drivers who are close together on the timing page, loads of drivers who are close together in the standings, which is still early stages, but it's still great to see. As we see Megatunif getting a black and white flag for track limits as well in the Trident. But yeah, it's really, really great to see everything just being close, no matter what it is in FIA Formula 2.
Unusual that's happened in a practice session to get the black and white flags. Track limits will be a key factor here in qualifying later on this afternoon, as the sun, as Obi said earlier, will begin to set. Dirtskin coming up to the second sector point now. You can hear the Mecha Chrome engine singing. And yeah, I wonder how many engine failures we're going to have this weekend. 91,000 off the base of Martins as he flies through the corner. I'm reckoning, what, 2, maybe 3 engines will blow up here?
It wasn't that bad last time, luckily. It was we had some great racing instead, rather, which was quite good.
And that's because of the second round, wasn't it? It was the second round of those Mecha Chrome engines, so that's why it didn't blow up. But now it's round 3. Is it round 3? Yeah, it's round 3. So
Durskin's flying here, Omi, as he comes up towards the line. He's going a bit quicker, but I'm not sure how much.
Yeah, driver from Paraguay, powering to the top. by 45,000 of a second.
Nice one, Omi.
This is brilliant. 146.387. So he's 45,000 faster than Victor Martin. Times are closing and getting more and more impressive as the situation develops with 15 minutes to go. And everyone will go on, presumably, for their fast qualifying simulation run. For sure, however, 3/10 down. It's a big gap, though. Even to Goethe, it's just a 10th off. And then we get Emil Cordial down in 7th. He's 2.5 tenths off, so there's a big gap out there. I'm just having a look, see what the biggest is. Montoya's goes to a 2nd. But the biggest, yeah, Browning, what was it? Shields, Browning, and Megatunif, 1.8, 1.92 even. Wow.
Yeah. Don't forget, some people have only done a few laps, and some people might have done race simulations to start with, and maybe they're just not comfortable with the track. Don't forget, F3 I don't think have been here, so there's some people that came from F3 that are seem to be struggling compared to the ones that have been in F2 for quite a long time. As fair play to some of the rookies though, who are seem to be handling well with this track, but we're watching Kushmani's car and it's come apart all of a sudden.
Omi, they had the rear suspension on the brake and looks like the suspension and brakes as well. They've got the engine cover off. This is something not looking good there. It needs a bit of work done to it. What would you think?
Yeah, I think the last time we saw him on the circuit was when he was spinning at the final corner, and then ever since he came into the pit lane. So I wonder if it was something that was caused by that they need to take a look at. The Dams Lucas Oil team that Maney is a part of as well. Right now Crawford in 4th position directly behind his teammate. 13 minutes still to go in this session, and it's all still looking really interesting, and it does kind of feel like a bit of a qualifying session considering the times, how exciting all of them are.
Yeah, they're getting close, and that means that in qualifying later we're going to be in for an absolute thriller. So red flags galore also tends to come out of this circuit.
Red flag curse.
Yeah.
I'm here, hello.
This is where it all started for you, Jess, wasn't it, with the red flag curse?
Because my first proper, Mini went a bit wide. My first proper broadcast with you was Jeddah. So I was there for a bit of Bahrain, but Jeddah was my first proper broadcast with you in 2023.
Yeah, that was the weekend I got COVID, so it was all hands on deck.
Yes, it was.
If you go back to 23 and just watch, I was all right for the Formula 1 race. But if you look at the F2...
you were fine with F1, but you had to get Tom Dillon to do like the review show, like the day or two after.
I fought myself massively throughout that weekend in order to get it. I was feeling it on the Friday. We found on the Friday that I could have it. Saturday, I certainly started to feel it. By Sunday, my God, I was whacked out.
And Friday we had technical, and don't forget it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday as well because of Ramadan. I remember on the Thursday we had technical problems galore, or Friday. It was either Thursday or Friday we had technical problems.
Was that Thursday, Friday, Saturday in 2023 or just 2024? Mini touched the wall.
2024, yeah. The last year, whereas 2023 was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, so it was 23 that was COVID, yeah.
Oh yeah, 2023 was COVID, yeah.
Just me to get COVID 3 years after the fact. That's how I'm always late.
I've had it like 4 or 5 times, COVID.
Not nice. Yeah, we had
last year COVID was not good. The time I had it last year, I was just not with it.
I literally, as Omi says, he's never had it. I don't wish that upon you at all. But I had to send Megan out the commentary box. Everything had to be deep cleaned in the box as well before anybody came back in. It was awful.
The first time I had it, I only had a few symptoms, but guess what? My parents didn't have it. And when I had it last year, my parents didn't catch it from me.
Oh.
So, which is weird.
Simthle's here says, hey guys, you think Red Bull updates? You think Red Bull updates will work this weekend? There's a good chance. This is one of their best circuits.
As a Red Bull affiliate, I hope so.
Omi?
Yeah, I think they could, and with the Verstappen effect could definitely drag them up around a circuit like this. Is Jack Crawford coming up to the line as Browning goes to 17.
Standing at 1:46.217. Crawford goes inside with the fastest third sector time, 1:46.248. Slow sector 1, personal best sector 2, fastest sector 3. That puts him 31 thousandths off. Explain that. How it works, I have no idea.
It's fun in the F2 cards, let's just say, to race around there. It is so lovely.
It's one of my favourites to get right. Once you get in the swing of it. It's actually making me want to put the esport rig up and do a few
Have
laps.
you got a Jeddah lap, or do you want me to do that later on if my rig's done?
Yeah, we've got. Well, Jess, once your rig is done, we will be asking for some updated lap attacks to do. Yeah.
It will take me a while to get used to it because apparently the brake pedal is load cell, and I've never used a load cell. So yeah, it will take me a while.
I would really enjoy a rig in this commentary box that we could do some proper laps with. I might get one day.
Surfer goes 7th.
Exciting times ahead actually for JB Motorsports. A couple of sponsorship opportunities have presented themselves, so you might be seeing some adverts.
I am excited.
This is Dirtskin just snapping at the rear and coming into the braking zone. So yeah, you might see a few adverts in between qualifying sessions of Q1, Q2, Q3 before the World Feed starts and everything like that. So some really good opportunities coming your way.
JBMotorsports is growing.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. We're nearly at 8,000 subs. We've got 1.2 on the other channel, 115 on the other as well.
If you haven't subbed, please sub right now.
It's frustrating that I've never got time in the weekend during the sessions. I have to watch most qualities and races back since. We miss you in the F2 and F3 boxes.
I missed you.
Anytime that you can come in. But Omi...
Omi's the new simple.
Yeah, you've taken over being promoted up. But Mini's on a good lap here, Omi, as he comes through. Oh, it says slow, but it's 20,000. That's how close the field is. A slow time is 20,000s off.
Yeah. He's been, of course, not the best middle sector, so that tells us that he could have gone a little bit more quick. I'm talking about going quicker. Stanek is trying to completely blow it out of the window in terms of keeping the times close, as he's improving by a lot in the first sector.
There's a lot of traffic there. I wonder if he's lifted, because 6 seconds to get down the straight, don't think that's enough. It might be. I might be wrong with that. 6 seconds, okay, over the line. And Mini fastest. It's a 1:46.193. Stanek's on a good first sector time. Dirtskin 2 with 8 to go. I thought Jess was going to say something else.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Negative 17th. Look at Stanek! Wow! Biggest time of the weekend so far! He's 4.5 tenths up in that middle sector. That's much more like it. Traffic is helping here, Omi, with the draft as well. DRS open.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you can get a timely tow, it can be really helpful when it comes to qualifying later on in the weekend. Stanek absolutely flying though, as we're about to see him come across the line, and he's surely going to move up to the top, but by how much is going to be the question.
I'm thinking half a second. It has to be half a second over the line. Oh, it's 3 tenths, okay, but that's still mightily impressive.
He took the shortest one to the line, surprisingly. I thought that would have been slower.
0.373. What is the esport run to the line here, Justin? Is it right up against
I
the
have
pit wall?
no idea. I have not done a race here in a while, and luckily I don't have a race this weekend because which league would put their race on Easter Sunday? Luckily we don't. So we had our Jeddah race 2 months ago.
Oh, that's good news then. Don't forget, we've also got NASCAR coming your way. Oi! Crawford Gateside Racing.
Oh, God.
We've got NASCAR trucks later on this evening. And then tomorrow, myself, Matthew Owens, JT and Jack will take you through NASCAR Xfinity at Rockingham. I've been told I've got to say Rockingham. Because they can,
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because they're saying Rockingham and we're saying Rockingham. So we've switched how we're pronouncing it this weekend.
So basically you're doing an American accent, they're doing a British accent.
Precisely, yes. Yeah. Over the
You should
line.
do your opening thing in a British, in an American. No, don't do it.
I'm not doing the opening in an American accent. I'm way too British for that. All American goes there.
I can't even do an American accent.
I should really get someone who... I mean, I've got someone who's American in the family, so we can just ask them to do it. Cushmine is still in the pit lane with those issues. He's only done 8 laps over me. Everyone else 15, 14, 16.
Yeah, everyone else is pushing on a lot more as we take a look at some of our moments around this circuit. And there we go with Joshua Dirksen as he went past his teammate Shields at the exact same moment as well. And now we look back over onto the circuit and our most recent race winner in Formula 2, Alex Dunn, looking up.
Yeah, that's down at the hairpin. They've done a few more things here to Jeddah, but this is coming up on one of the final few races we'll have here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. The brand new stadium is being built. Yeah, I mean, considering how many people built this circuit, how many people died building this circuit, it's ridiculous that we're going to a new circuit. in a couple of years'
It's
time.
good. I was not sure on it when we were they were about to do the first race because it wasn't long before it had to be approved and then there was the race. But then it grown on me after when the 2022 race was here, like at the start of the year. It grown on me then in 2023 when there was just so many overtakes. We thought there was going to be loads of red flags, but no, just so many overtakes. And yeah, Jeddah's grown on me. I like the Jeddah race. It's always provided some good racing, and I do remember the 2023 race quite vividly as well. And who remembers last year in real life? We could talk about this in FP1, but Montoya goes 14th. Alex Dunn goes up to the line, and he goes second. I thought he was going top for a minute there, but no, he goes second.
Coming down, Montoya in the Prema. It's always weird seeing Montoya in a Prema livery. I'm not getting used to it because I missed round 2, so I've only seen him in Australia coming through as we were doing World Superbikes. And
it wasn't even a feature race in Australia, Josh.
No, there wasn't actually, that's true. That's Correa. No, that's last year, Cordeal. COR just automatically goes to Correa. Montoya goes second, 3 tenths off the pace of Sanak in his time as well.
Yeah, we wish Correa all the best as Dunn also gets the feeling to follow race director instructions at the pit lane entry black and white flag for that. But yes, we do wish Correa the best when it comes to IMSA as well, which you can catch when the rounds do happen here on JB Motorsports as well. But it was great to see him returning to this, returning to Spa all of those years that he's been in these categories F3 and F2, and then just a return and getting the podium as well in Barcelona. But right now it's Martin, Stanek and Mini, as you mentioned right now. And
how's he doing IMSA last week? Do you know?
I'm sorry, say again.
How's he doing IMSA last week?
I can't remember. You know, I was watching the broadcast myself. Too much happened.
Don't look up.
Yep, down 10-6. Plug saying WEC Imola 6 hours this weekend. Yep, we've got our coverage on Sunday. We'll be switching between ourselves on the broadcast and others.
I'll need to check. Oh, that's one time is I need to check those as well. We'll check those after this.
We're not actually sure what is happening yet because obviously there's other things going on with it being Easter Sunday, so we might have it as the world feed. And then
to be fair though, the first round of WEC we got good views even with just the world feed. So
yeah. So we're just having a think about it, but we're back for Le Mans obviously for round 3 of the season.
Yeah.
So don't forget also next week you can join us both days for coverage of the open test for the Indianapolis 500, all 8 hours live both days here on YouTube.
That's a bit early this year.
It's the open test, Jess. It's always open. It's always in April.
All right. And then we have, I think it's British Touring Cars on next weekend.
Yeah.
And also GB3 as well in Silverstone.
Yes, you can watch that on JB Motorsports too, as well.
Oh, we're going to be busy next week as well. Oh, God. Oh, Stanek 1,000 slower than Martin's. Wow.
So Martin's on a 1:45.671. Stanek's closing in on that time zone as well. Yeah, next weekend, myself and Tom and Lucy are trackside for the opening round of the British Touring Car Championship at Donington Park. Megan will be taking you through. Oh, look up there.
Oh my goodness.
Megan's taking you through the MotoGP with the practice. Qualifying and this sprint live on JB Motorsports 2 and Moto3, Moto2 and MotoGP live on the main YouTube channel on Sunday. I'll be joining for the MotoGP sprint and Grand Prix from trackside at Donington. Fingers crossed as well. I should be here broadcasting Friday anyway. Omi's taking you through the GP3 season opener, and stay tuned throughout the week as it's currently being planned for some updates on our coverage of British Touring Car Championship this year, as to we might not be doing the usual race 1, race 2, race 3. We might be doing the whole days of Saturday and Sunday live on the channel, so stay tuned.
Oh, so like even the minis and the British F4s?
Yeah, with World Feed.
Yeah.
We're having a look to see if that's possible, so stay tuned for that announcement.
Oh, exciting. That would be good if we're allowed to do that.
We are. Crawford's locked up and he's made a mistake. He's just gone fast that middle sector though, Omi, and now he's made a big mess of it.
Yeah, he has. Luckily only practiced the last few seconds of this practice session. But yes, with the full coverage of the entire day, we'll also be doing certain races ourselves as well, along with the world feed whenever we want. So stuff like British F4 I'll be covering, and then others will take the minis from time to time. So it's going to be a lot of fun as well, and we'll definitely bring some good coverage.
I'm buzzing for that now. I'm excited because I always like watching British F4. As Crawford goes third, that mistake in sector 2 and 3 costed him there, but Dirkson's up, Josh.
Yeah, not by much though, did it? That's something as well to come through. Dirkskin first sector and second sector's personal best. But Omi for sure goes 10th. How badly is this going to cost Crush Miney though, Omi? He's lost out on all this running going into qualifying. He's about 10 laps down on everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely, and he was the driver who was second. He qualified here 1 year ago, then got promoted to pole when Behrman got promoted to Formula 1 as well last year. So maybe he does have some good experience around this circuit, but not what you want this year with his Dams machinery as we take a look at Bogdanovic.
Crawford had his lap time to need for track limits. He's dropped down to 7th place as well. So now Bogdanovic with that fastest first sector, a 38.7. As he's 2 tenths down in that middle sector. He's on old mediums though, so this is more like a race simulation run. Megatune only up to 17th at the moment, and there's Crawford's time being deleted for track limits at the last corner. How do you do that at the last corner?
No idea.
Strange circuit this. Let's just clip the inside a little bit too much. There's no place to go off. Still,
I thought usually sector 1 will be the hardest, but it seems to me for these F2 cars sector 2 is. Because that's where they lose the most time.
Bogdanovic up to 3rd, 145.990. Yeah, and Les Spargo back next week at Jerez as a wild card. Now can take you through that one across the 2 channels.
Oh, interesting. Shame about Martin though for MotoGP.
Yeah, 11 broken ribs.
11?
Well.
Oh, God.
And a detached lung.
I guess he's out for the rest of the season then.
They're estimating 3 months, but I think it is full season, Jess. Yeah, I agree with you. They might just tell him to just go rest.
I've got to be on it in terms of knowing the lingo for motorbikes. I think I'm covering one of the motos in the Brands Hatch Indy weekend.
Oh, touching the wall there.
How did he avoid getting big damage like that? That's crazy.
What Brands weekend?
Brands Hatch Indy. British Touring Car weekend.
I'm not going.
Oh, you're not going, are you? I thought you were.
A case of oven exploding has meant that we can't afford it.
Oh, right. Well, that means JT can go.
He is, yeah. JT's going alongside Tom.
Oh, that's good then. At least we're getting some people there.
Practice start. I think I'm back at Thruxton.
Thank God I'm not doing any motor stuff.
Oh,
So I don't have someone's
Montoya.
Montoya? That's not a spin, is it, Omi? That's...
Mechachrome.
Yeah, that's
I bet you it's Mechachrome.
Well, luckily it's happened at the end of the session. Luckily he's got all of the running he needs, and then it can come to a halt now as well, and they'll look to get that sorted before we get qualifying later on. But yes, Montoya out of the car, and Prema will wait to receive that car back.
So, Montoya will go again. They've got a little Bon sticker on the side of the car that he looked quite funny as well. That stuck on there. I remember Juan Pablo having those on the old Williams back in the early 2000s. Durskin lining up to do a practice start then. Fingers crossed we're going to be in an okay situation for this one. Turn off the notifications. And away we go.
I had to turn mine off as well because I forgot on this computer that I'm in the office, I forgot to turn it off. So I had to turn them off before I went on this call because it got annoying.
Radio message coming through.
We just went off. Oh, no, it is Mechachrome. It is definitely Mechachrome.
Yeah, it's just died and come to a stop.
So it's taken till round 3 for someone to be Mechachromed.
Ooh.
What's happened?
The PIF Fund, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, is looking to buy Aston Martin from Lawrence Stroll and Max to go there. Mercedes is also Max's other preferred destination if he were to leave.
Oh, God.
So that's coming from an Italian sports paper. So we'll keep across.
I think I find that the most accurate, like, apart from ours, the most accurate form of news is usually the French Canal channel or something like that, because every time they report a rumour, it's always true.
I still like how I got Sebastian Vettel retiring at Imola and it wasn't announced after Hungary. But you got the gosh, you got the gossip. Yeah, that's everybody knew. I got told that, so I relayed it, and then hey, it was true.
Oh yeah, you said it on Grid tonight, didn't you? And you were saying it, and people didn't believe you until it happened.
The only bit that was changed was that Schumacher was supposed to go to Aston Martin, but then Alonso decided to move around, and everybody got confused.
Yeah, it was just like the crazy market. What? Yeah, I have so many questions about like the silly season and stuff. But again, we can talk about that in FP1.
There's a lot to do. Don't forget, Jake Sanson's going to be joining us in the commentary box this weekend across all classes.
Even F2?
All classes means all classes.
Oh, cool.
That also means F1 Academy, Jess.
Yay!
So everyone now returning into the pit lane. The session concludes. Next up, it is F1 Academy free practice 1.
I did check the time for that, and that was correct, but you never know with F1 Academy, they may want to start a bit earlier, but yeah.
We've already got a headache, and we're only 45 minutes in. Track temperature 57.5. Let's have a look then at the full results. It is Victor Martin's on top from Roman Stanek in second. Dino Bogdanovic goes in third. Joshua Dunskan's fourth with Gabriel Mini fifth. Sebastian Montoya in sixth. Leonardo Falloverly in seventh. Jack Crawford eighth. Jose Maria Martin ninth. And Chris Miney rounds out your top 10. Richard Verschore's 11th with Arvin Lindblad in 12th. Ollie Goetz 13th with Rafael Villagomez 14th. Alexander Doom 15th. Emil Cordial 16th. 17th for Max Esterson. 18th Luke Browning. 19th John Bennett. And 20th for Samuel Mekatunev. Rita Miata 21st. And Clan Shields is 22nd. Okay, closing thoughts. Amy, what do you make of that session?
Well, an interesting session. The times were really close, and I'm looking forward to qualifying and seeing how that's going to go later.
Jess?
This felt like a qualifying towards the end of that, didn't it? Which makes things even more exciting for when F2 goes qualifying later. Qualifying's always exciting in F2. Let's hope for no red flags, touch wood. I thought we could see a surprise pole position, I'm calling.
We'll be back for qualifying in a few hours' time. Next up, it's F1 Academy in around about 30 minutes' time. We'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.